For the next 7 days, I'm attempting to finish the diets of the world's heaviest people. Starting with Barry Austin, who ate a staggering 26,000 calories per day. I'm hungry now, but by the end of this week, I have a feeling I won't be.
Oh my God.
Rule number 1, I have to finish each person's diet before I can move on to the next one. Rule number 2, I can't control whose diet I'm eating next. If you're wondering who is controlling it, you'll find out shortly. Rule number 3, I have to gain a minimum of 33 pounds this week. Yep, I'm going all in, and my stomach is about to hate me.
Kicking off with the first part of Barry's breakfast, I'm eating 10 eggs and a full loaf of toast. Obviously, it was tasting great, but what I didn't know was that this delicious carbonated drink was going to be the bane of my existence, because Barry drank 12 liters of Coke per day. If the food itself wasn't a tough enough challenge already, this was going to be the icing on the cake. Or should I say, the syrup on the hash brown. After finishing off half the platter, I'd already made it to my second 2-liter. But this was only the beginning.
It's like I'm painting a picture of sugary, mapley deliciousness.
Call me Pablo Picasso, baby.
After finishing off the last of the bacon and the sausage, I took down the rest of the hash browns and the bread. Oh, and the last of the Coke. Well, for this meal at least.
That was Barry Austin's breakfast, and it's only gonna get crazier.
Since Barry was Britain's heaviest man, I had to run over to the local pub to get the next meal for the challenge.
Love fish and chips.
I started off with the fries, or chips as they're called in the UK, along with my next 2-liter of Coke. So far, the meal was off to a pretty good start. But I decided it was time to bring a little bit more flavor to the party.
I don't know what kind of sauce this is, but I'm gonna find out.
It's ranch, and it's good ranch.
So far, things were going great. Well, for now at least.
All right, fish and chips number 1 is down. I'll pick that up later.
I got back to work and started on the next order of fish and chips.
I dedicate this meal to all my British subscribers.
And only a few minutes later, meal 2 was complete.
Fish and chips number 2 is complete. I am kind of coked out right now. I feel like that's probably not the most family-friendly thing to say on this channel, but you know what I mean. I have a second 2-liter in here that I was supposed to finish, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with that.
For the next few minutes, I chugged this Coke like I was trying to set a record for fastest time to destroy a pancreas.
Number 4.
And that's when things turned in a different direction.
Oh man. I've had way too much caffeine and sugar today.
After recovering from my sugar crash, it was time for the final part of Barry's diet. For this, I headed over to this fire Indian spot for the next meal.
Well everyone, it's almost 7 o'clock, so you know what that means. Dinner time.
As I got to 2-liter number 5 for the day, there was only one thought on my mind.
I hate you so much right now.
Ooh, can we get a little ASMR action?
Even though I was ridiculously full at this point, this curry was so delicious that my fullness almost didn't even matter.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is some tasty curry.
But regardless of how good the food is, flavor fatigue is always bound to set in eventually. Which I was reminded of only a few bites later. With only 4 plates left, I decided it was time to strategize. So I started making myself a little curry burrito. There's probably a formal name for this, but all I knew was that this tasted delicious. As I finished this plate, I felt like I was more curry than human. But with the finish line in sight, the last thing I could do was stop now.
I'm so over curry right now. I gotta say, this is some tasty curry.
As I stuffed the last curry burrito in my mouth, I finally made it to the end. Well, almost.
The worst part about today was definitely the Coke.
Little did I know the Coke was going to be nothing compared to what I was going to face this week.
I have half of one left still, but right now the last thing I want to do is even think about it. Why couldn't this have been Diet Coke?
After finishing diet number 1, it was time for my first weigh-in.
Jeez, that was a lot of calories today. Hopefully whatever's up next won't be anything too crazy.
Obviously, Barry's diet left me feeling pretty full, but the next one on the list was gonna wound me. Literally.
This is gonna be impossible.
And it all started with this binder. Let me explain. A few weeks ago, I got this text from my old friend Ricky. Ricky and I were best friends in high school, but it had been a few years since we last spoke. Ricky ended up coming over a few days later and things seemed pretty normal until he hit me with this.
Eric, you know you didn't actually eat the world's heaviest man's diet, right?
A few years ago, I ate what I thought was the world's heaviest man's daily diet. But what Ricky was about to put in front of me...
Well, Eric, I got a real challenge for you then, and it's all in here.
Was gonna prove that he was right. Ricky's always been the kind of friend that's kept me on my toes with everything I do. Like, if I said I climbed Mount Everest, he'd tell me I missed a step. So of course, he tells me he found 5 more people with even crazier diets than the world's heaviest man.
You gotta finish all of these in a week, and that's the real challenge. Dude, come on, man. Are you for real right now? Come on, bro. I thought you were the world's hungriest man.
As soon as he said that, I instantly realized he was right.
Fine. I will do it.
And I know I'm gonna do it too, because if I can't, I'll take World's Hungriest Man out of my IG bio. But I was about to find out that finishing Ricky's challenge was gonna be far from easy.
Whoa, bro, hold up.
Mainly because he told me I couldn't look at the rest of the binder until I started the challenge, and that I had to finish each diet in the exact order that he'd put them in, which was probably because he sprinkled in a few surprises that I didn't know about.
I hate you, Ricky.
But Ricky wasn't quite done yet.
I want to see you as thick and bloated as you were when you were a kid.
Yeah, that's when Ricky decided to throw in a little side mission for me on this crazy challenge. I was gonna try and gain the most weight I've ever gained in a food challenge before. Ricky then told me that he had gotten a job in Central America, and he wanted to see me do this before he leaves. So right then and there, I knew what needed to be done.
This sounds pretty ridiculous, dude. But hey, what's the worst that can happen?
Next up on the list was the diet of Paul Mason. At his peak weight, Paul weighed in at 980 pounds and had one of the most absurd diets ever recorded, which, judging by the first meal,
There's no way I'm gonna be able to do this.
was gonna test me unlike any challenge I'd ever done before.
Safe to say after this, gotta say everyone, after this, I might have a serious chip on my shoulder. After today, I think I might have a serious chip on my shoulder. Where are my salt and vinegar people at? Comment down below.
I had no idea how I was gonna be able to survive 100 bags of chips. But what I did know was that the day was off to a pretty bad start already.
Yeah, my lips are already numb.
And some trash spilling on the floor was about to be the least of my problems.
The outside of my mouth is completely numb right now.
As you can probably tell by now, I was clearly in a state of pure potato chip bliss. There was 4 different flavors spread across the 100 bags of chips. My strategy was to conquer 25 at a time.
Never eating another salt and vinegar chip ever again.
But I was starting to realize that this plan wasn't working out very well.
All right, let me get a bag count here because I've lost count like 300 bags ago. 24, 25.
With the salt and vinegar flavor down, it was time to move on to the next one.
Choices, choices, choices.
I knew there was no way I was going to finish all 100 bags in one sitting. But if I can make it through 25 more, then I knew I'd have a solid chance at surviving this crazy diet plan. Until I got this text from Ricky. The next part of Paul's diet was going to require a trip to the grocery store. But in order to set myself up for success,
I've entered what scientists refer to as the crunch dimension.
I knew I had to finish off the rest of these barbecue chips, which fortunately I was able to do. But unfortunately, getting through this day wasn't going to be quite that easy.
I don't even have a word to describe how my mouth feels right now.
With the barbecue chips down, I headed to Walmart to grab the next thing I needed to eat, plus a little something extra.
Man, the roof of my mouth is so shredded right now. I need some ice.
I have a feeling I'm going to need something a little heavier duty for the tip.
If only this worked for the emotional kind too. Yeah, this is gonna taste like sadness.
After some much needed relief, I was clearly ready for more chips. I could feel each chip shredding the roof of my mouth. Had I not gotten that sweet treat, I don't think I'd have a roof left.
On the status update, feels like a car crashed inside of my mouth and there's shards of glass everywhere.
After 10 more delightful minutes, I found myself at the last bag of sour cream and onion chips.
My blood type is now sour cream and onion.
If I could finish off the last 25 bags of chips, I'd be through with the first half of Paul's diet. As for the second half,
All right, well, everyone, I have the rest of the bags right there.
that was either gonna save me or shatter me.
And the reason why I haven't gotten into Paul's next item is because it would have gone terrible with this and would have gone better with...
The second half of Paul's diet was 40 chocolate bars. With how I felt at this point, I knew this was going to be my last ditch effort to finish Paul Mason's daily diet.
I feel like I just burned way too many calories unwrapping those.
But after all the salt I just put in my body over the last day, these Feastables bars were everything I needed.
This chocolate is pretty good. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
But even though they were a massive relief, I knew I had to get to the chips eventually.
We meet again. Oh man.
At this point, the roof of my mouth and the corners of my lips were in shambles, and I was running out of options. So I thought I'd try some ice cold water, and it did absolutely nothing. And when I realized I was only able to eat one chip at a time, I started to think about throwing in the towel.
I genuinely don't know what to do right now.
But the last thing I wanted to be eating was leftover chips tomorrow. And I also had a sneaking suspicion that these diets were only going to get harder, which meant I was going to need all the stomach space possible. So I knew I needed to take all these chips down tonight. So a few minutes later, I got the bright idea to try a new approach. I've decided to call it chip balls. Well, actually, they're just crushed chips in my fist, but it made it so I could eat them much faster. And to my complete and utter surprise,
My taste buds feel like they're in another dimension right now.
it was working incredibly well. I just wished I would have done it 90 bags ago. Nothing against Lay's potato chips or anything, but after this, I'm probably never going to eat another bag ever again. I was able to make it to the last 2 bags of chips, but it came at a pretty big cost.
I can't believe I've made it here, but I have 2 bags left. And a chip on my shoulder. So close.
With 2 bags of chips and 20 chocolate bars left, I was almost at the finish line.
Oh, hey, he's got almonds in them. Good thing I'm getting my healthy fats in.
I shoved back the rest of the chocolate bars like I was trying to set another world record.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what rock bottom tastes like. And it's lightly salted.
And terrible life choices.
I got a little bit of debris, but I'm calling that one done. Oh, I'm gonna need a nap and a warm bath. If only my stomach was as shredded as the roof of my mouth is right now.
I had made it through Paul's mountain of chips and chocolate bars, but the next diet wasn't just about calories. There was a deadline, and failing it came with consequences. The next person on the list was Samantha Mason, who appeared on season 9 of the show My 600 Pound Life. Samantha weighed in at 950 pounds at her peak weight, which required a lot of calories to maintain. But calories weren't the only thing I had to worry about, because little did I know, Ricky was about to take the difficulty of this challenge to a whole new level.
Yo.
Hey, yeah, so I found this person online. So she ate more than 20,000 calories a day, but what she ate was really big.
So Ricky went on to say that he found a thread on Reddit that analyzed Samantha's 140-pound weight gain while she stayed in a hospital, which came out to be roughly 21,333 calories per day. He gave this information to ChatGPT and asked it to analyze all the meals she ate while on the show in order to get the most accurate diet possible, which by itself was going to be incredibly difficult to finish. But what he did next was going to make this challenge a whole different game.
Yeah, once we're on FaceTime, I'll go ahead and text you the first name.
All right.
When Ricky's text came in a few minutes later, I wasn't all that worried.
At least it's not 100 bags of chips.
And then he texted me this.
This challenge has just got taken up a few notches. I have to finish everything on this meal plan today before midnight, or else Ricky's telling me he's gonna add another person's name to the binder. Well, you know what, Ricky? If you're watching this, which I know you are, I am going to finish this meal plan. I just hope Samantha didn't have any chips on her meal plan.
The first stop was McDonald's. Second stop, Jack in the Box.
I hate you, Ricky.
The first order of business from this massive pile of fast food was 6 jumbo breakfast burritos. And since I hadn't drank enough of this so far, a large Coke. The first bite of the breakfast burrito was surprisingly really good. Maybe today wouldn't be so bad after all.
I'm just so glad this is not a potato chip.
Burrito number 2 went down easy, but the next one called for a little something extra, so I added some salsa. I was probably playing with fire by doing that, but hey, I like to live dangerously.
Shout out to Jack in the Box. Breakfast burrito is actually really good. I think I just got a piece of foil in my mouth.
Maybe it was the sugar or the caffeine. Well, actually, probably both. But I was feeling good. Like, really good.
Wow, why is that so good? We're back in business, baby. Woo!
Obviously, the sugar rush was coming in at full force. But with time ticking away, I knew I was going to hit my wall eventually. So I decided to throw something else in that would give me a little bit more motivation to keep eating.
I'm going to issue a little challenge within the challenge. If I'm able to finish everything on this diet plan by midnight tonight, then you got to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. But if I can't, then you can unsubscribe. Even though that would make me very sad.
With the stakes high and the challenge set, I moved on to the Crispy McNuggets that had some sort of weird sauce, but I was able to finish off the box. Unfortunately, the crispiness of these nuggets brought back some pretty bad flashbacks.
All right, these McNuggets are a little too crispy.
Even though the roof of my mouth wasn't too happy, I continued on anyways. And I'm glad I did,
Just take a moment of silence for the cookie.
because the sweetness of this cookie was everything I needed.
Dun, dun, dun.
And after housing all those cookies, meal 1 was officially complete.
Our cookies are down. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Realistically, I probably should be going to some sort of therapy. Time to go shopping. That's pretty much me right now.
I thought eating 100 bags of chips would be the most physically and emotionally damaging thing I'd ever subject myself to, until I saw Ricky's next text. As someone that's eaten a wide variety of food over my lifetime, there's not a lot of things out there I won't eat. Unless it's this. Yeah, when I got carrot cake on my 2nd birthday, I wasn't too jazzed about it. But I'm assuming that when Ricky saw that Samantha ate one of these on the show, he thought it would be the perfect opportunity to try to sabotage me. But my goal was to stay the world's hungriest man, and I was not going to let him win. So after getting my groceries, it was off to Starbucks for the next item. But after I got it, I caught the carrot cake taunting me in the passenger seat, forcing me to fight back intense feelings of nausea. This was not going to be easy.
I have nothing to say. Okay, not as good as the frappe earlier, but that is tasty.
After a bit of the frappe, it was time for some Ben & Jerry's.
First actual item.
The first bite of this flavor was a good one, mainly because it was 90% caramel and like 10% ice cream.
Oh, caramel. Goodness. Probably should have asked them for a napkin.
Finally, it was time to move on to the next items.
Should probably get started on these chocolate bars right here.
Cookies and cream bars are classics, but in my opinion, nothing beats a Reese's chocolate bar. Unfortunately, the only thing left at this point was my mortal enemy.
Nothing about this is going to be fun.
If I could barely stand to smell this carrot cake, I had no idea how I was going to be able to eat it. I figured maybe if I just start with the frosting, the whole thing would be a lot easier to stomach. But when I took the first actual bite of cake, I realized I was wrong. So very wrong. It was as if pure sadness were turned into an edible flavor, and that's what I had to eat.
Carrot cake is just a vegetable bread pretending to be dessert, and no one can convince me otherwise.
I continued eating the icing to get as much of this down as I could, but with each bite of carrot cake, the task seemed more and more impossible.
Dude, how could anybody eat this, like, willingly? Everyone, I can't carry on anymore. This is a travesty. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this.
Fortunately, Ricky texted me again with the next meal, so I went shopping to distract myself. But even as I looked at these tasty donuts, I just couldn't shake the carrot taste in my mouth. The way I saw it, there was only one thing left to do.
Oh, could have been anything else besides carrot cake. Anything else. Why am I back here? Can I get one caramel frappe, please?
Gotcha. Anything else today?
That's gonna be it.
Gotcha. Full forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now I know what you're all thinking. Eric, this is normally the point where you get out your blender and you change the consistency of whatever it is you're eating so that it makes it drinkable. I got a lot of comments in the last video where I turned Stan, the 25-pound gummy bear, into a liquid bowl of whatever that was. And a lot of people said it was cheating. So I'm not gonna do that, but I do think I have to do something because there's no way I'm gonna be eating this carrot cake as it is. This is the moment I got a crazy idea that I just hoped would work. I was hoping that if I froze the carrot cake, then maybe it would become like a popsicle and I wouldn't taste it as much when I tried to eat it later.
Now I just gotta eat the other stuff.
With midnight fast approaching, I moved on to the donuts.
It does taste like sugar at this point.
As I was starting to get fuller and fuller,
Hot Pocket time.
I knew I had to keep eating.
They're ice cold.
As I ate my uncooked Hot Pockets, I continued to spiral downward.
Oh man, it's bringing back flashbacks. I'll pick that up later.
The crunchiness was hard at first,
Ow.
and it only continued to get worse. But since it wasn't 100 bags of chips,
If I have to eat another chip in this challenge, I swear I'm gonna.
I was able to finish them off and move on to the next item, which fortunately was soft.
I saved the best for last. You're probably thinking to yourselves, Eric, what are you talking about? Why would that be the best? It's because these nuggets are going to be eaten with some wow sauce.
At this point, I was outrageously full, but all that remained after these nuggets was one last item, which if I couldn't finish, then another person's diet would get added to the binder.
The only thing left is that travesty of a carrot cake, and I have no idea if my plan is gonna work. Well, everyone, it's as frozen as it's gonna get. Oh, dude, it's not even frozen at all.
Thinking it was gonna be like a popsicle, all right?
Each bite of this carrot cake was insufferable.
Oh. Gotta say, everybody, people have things they really don't like, and they have things they really do like. This is not one of the things I really like. It's only one way it's going down.
I held out for as long as I could, but I knew this wasn't going to go down without a little bit of help. I got some good old peanut butter to mask the taste. And guess what? It still tasted awful. But it was helping just enough to make progress. And with only a few minutes left in the day, I just had one last thing to say.
Ricky, hate you. I never ever want to relive that experience ever again. Alright, so here's the deal. I ordered the shirt just in case I was able to finish everything on the diet plan today. Just got the wrong size. It's a little snug.
After conquering Samantha's diet, I was over halfway done with the challenge. Unfortunately for me though, my stomach was destroyed.
Alright, everybody, well, it's day 4. I'm officially halfway through this challenge. I'm ashamed to admit that I had nightmares last night about carrot cake. Imagine being a grown man and having nightmares about carrot cake.
With how horrible day 3 went, I was pretty afraid to open the binder. And with all the calories, sugar, and fat I had just put into my body, I felt like I was starting to go crazy. All right, everybody, it's time for a mid-challenge consultation with the fridge. Fridge, being completely honest, what do you think of my current mental state at this moment? Speak louder into the microphone. Yikes. Even though my goal was to gain weight for this challenge, I was massively bloated. So I called in some backup. I feel slimmer already. I did a little bit of reading to revitalize my mind and shift my focus away from all the food I had just eaten. After that, I had a nice walk with my dog Apollo, and then it was time to check and see what my progress was on my side mission this week. But what I was about to discover was completely unexpected.
All right, everybody, it's past the halfway point. So now what I'm gonna do is weigh myself to see how much I've gained.
As I was about to weigh in, something in the corner caught my eye. At first, I didn't think much of it when Ricky presented me with the binder, but him choosing to include this specific photo of us had a much deeper meaning than I originally thought. You may not know this about me, but I've had my fair share of weight struggles throughout my life. A few weeks after this photo was taken, I found myself at the doctor's office for what I thought would be a routine checkup, but what actually happened would dramatically change the rest of my teenage years. I stepped on the scale and saw 215 pounds staring back at me, and at first, it was just a number. But when my doctor told me that my weight put me in the obese category for kids my age, it hit me harder than any insult any bully had ever thrown at me. For my entire life up until that point, I just wanted to be seen as someone other than the overweight kid. So with that 215 pound number etched in my mind, I walked out of that doctor's office that day with a mission to lose as much weight as possible. And roughly 11 months later, I had lost about 90 pounds. But even after the weight loss, that number never really left me. It became more than a number. Like subconsciously, I would think if I ever found myself back at that number, I would be that overweight kid again. But now in this very moment, as I saw myself creeping back towards that number, I was starting to wonder, what if after all this time, it was just a number after all? But this moment of reflection didn't last very long, because not only was the next diet the biggest so far, failing it meant losing the entire challenge.
All right, you guys, it is day 5. I'm actually feeling pretty rejuvenated today. So it's time to get back to the challenge and see who's next.
I didn't know it yet, but what was going to appear on the page after this one was going to turn the next 24 hours of my life into total chaos.
What is in my stomach right now? Today's a beast. Finish or pay, because if food's left by the end of the day, 2 more names are on their way.
With 2 more names potentially getting added to the binder if I couldn't finish the next meal plan, Ricky was clearly pushing me to my limits, especially because the next person up on the list was Kenneth Brumley. Kenneth was featured in the documentary Half Ton Dad. At his peak weight, Kenneth weighed in at an estimated 1,035 pounds. Ricky's challenge was quite the surprise, but he was about to hit me with another one that I wasn't really that prepared for.
So I had trouble finding Kenneth's exact diet. All I was able to find were the typical meals he ate while he was on Half Ton Dad, and the total amount of calories he ate per day, which unfortunately for you is going to be the highest out of anyone else's diet so far. Good luck.
With a little over 12 hours on the clock and a semi-recovered stomach, I knew I had to finish this diet, because I knew if Ricky added 2 more names to the binder, I'd definitely be failing this challenge.
Thank goodness this meal has orange juice. I gotta get my fruit in somehow.
At this point, the taste of the food wasn't as big of a concern, so I combined my favorites together to make a mega breakfast sandwich. But as soon as I got to the legendary McDonald's hash brown, I knew exactly what had to happen next.
I dedicate this next part of the video to all the OGs on the channel because there's an item I used to make all the time in my videos. And all I gotta say is that if you try it, your taste buds will be blown away. Step 1, get your pancake and hash brown like so. Step 2, add a little bit of bacon, just like so, my friends and family. And then step 3, skip the McMuffin, we don't need the extra carbs. Step 4, garnish your hash brown and bacon just like so. And the final step in the process, everybody, is to garnish your creation just like so, my friends and family. And then you have yourselves what I like to call the electrifier. Woo! Who else thinks I should be designing McDonald's menu items? McDonald's, if you're watching this video, I'm always available. All right, always available. Maybe not right now, but in the future at some point.
I finished off the rest of the breakfast items before diving into the dessert, which was 2 massive cinnamon rolls and a little bit of syrup. Meal 1 was pretty easy, but since Ricky was the one sending me the meals, I had no idea what to expect for the rest of the day.
That was pretty spectacular.
Okay, so Ricky just texted me meal 2 and meal 3. Meal 3 is gonna be at a fast food place, and it's a fast food place I really, really love. So I'm gonna go grocery shopping.
At the store, I grabbed the next few items I needed, including something I really did not want to see.
After this week, it's safe to say I'm officially a Pepsi guy. This is gonna be going into my, what usually is my protein shaker cup, which I find kind of hilarious and slightly ironic.
As usual, I started on the thing I was least excited to eat. And in this case, it was the Doritos. My mouth quickly paid the price.
You guys gotta comment down below, are you team nacho cheese or are you team Cool Ranch?
I powered through the rest of the chips using my shaker cup as I went. This Coke was the last thing I needed. And even though the roof of my mouth was back to being in shambles, the Doritos were done.
I'll pick that up later.
Next, it was onto the Snickers bars, which I made quick work of. If this all wasn't enough sugar already, what I had next was going to be the icing on the cake.
Pop-Tarts. That is a pure exemplification of American junk food. I don't even know if exemplification is even a word, but I just had to say it.
As I worked my way through these Pop-Tarts, the extreme amount of caffeine and sugar was starting to do crazy things to my body.
Woo!
as I shoved the second to last Pop-Tart back into my mouth and sipped the remaining Coke. What happened next? I still can't fully understand.
Woo! Oh my goodness. I don't know what about that meal was incredible, but your boy is officially locked in. I'm introducing a new segment to the videos, everyone. When I get officially dialed in, my pay grades has been seasoned, my organs, my stomach, everything inside of my body is saying, Eric, please, for the love of God, stop eating. That is when I get locked in.
Target has been identified. I don't know why I said that like I'm some special ops agent, but just made me feel cool.
Side note, I really have always wanted to get a Burger King crown, so I was really excited when found out I was supposed to come here today.
The first bite of Burger King was delicious, but with this much in front of me,
I need to make some adjustments to my setup I got going on here because it's just not working.
I had a feeling things were going to go downhill fast.
Totally unnecessary, but whatever. I'm doing it anyways.
After applying an unnecessary amount of ranch to this burger, I finished it off and made my way to the nuggets next. My sauce of choice was the legendary sweet and sour. It was good, but flavor fatigue was starting to hit. And when that happens, it's never a good thing.
What you guys gotta do when you're in moments like this where flavor fatigue is hitting, you gotta go bam, and then boom, and then back to bam.
Sweet and sour and ranch, obviously a goated combo. After spending the next few minutes eating those, it was finally time for the fries.
Exercise. I thought you meant extra fries. You've all made it up into this point of the video. I just want you all to drop a French fry emoji down below.
At this point, I was starting to get very full, but there were two iconic items still left for me to finish.
The order the fries are down. I feel like I just ran a marathon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a work of art. The legendary Hershey's pie from Burger King.
The Burger King meal was finished, and with that much food in me, the only thing I could think of doing next was...
Oh, okay. Time to go grocery shopping. Again.
You'd think Walmart would be concerned about the amount of times I'd visited this week.
I am disgusted with myself right now.
Yet here I was again, and I was being stalked.
Too soon. I don't think I've ever had a zebra cake before. Just tastes like sugar at this point.
Right about now is when I started feeling all those calories catch up with me.
I'm falling down big time here. Oh.
Even these smaller items were becoming incredibly hard to finish.
I literally feel like this guy right here. Like this is me right now.
I finished off the M&Ms, but the next item for sure wasn't going to be good for my digestive system.
The peanut M&Ms are down. This last item, I feel like can really not make things very good right now. But you know what? I like to live dangerously, everybody. We have a cheesecake right here.
I gotta say, I was pretty surprised when I took my first bite of this cheesecake.
They're not bad for a Walmart cheesecake.
But things quickly took a turn for the worse.
Oh, man.
Each bite of cheesecake felt like a literal brick was going into my stomach.
But with midnight fast approaching and more food after this,
I was almost at the finish line. I just had to keep pushing.
Cheesecake is down. I wish I could say that today is over, but unfortunately it is not.
Can't believe I've made it through almost 5 days of this. That will be me tomorrow morning. I genuinely could not believe that I'd made it to this meal, but the end of the day was finally in sight.
It's actually kind of nice.
Besides, what harm could yet another food item that scratches the roof of my mouth do? Yeah, it turns out the bacon on this pizza was a little bit too crispy. At this point, I wasn't sure if my mouth would ever fully recover from this challenge.
The bacon is crunchy and the roof of my mouth is still raw.
Shortly after this, I realized I'd forgotten to bring an item to the table.
This is the last thing my body needs right now is a bean and cheese burrito. I'm just telling you all right now.
After happily eating the first burrito, and eventually the second, it was time for a little taste test.
Time for an official Pizza Hut ranch taste test. Oh, no.
At this point, I knew the only way I was going to be able to finish these breadsticks was with my own sauce.
I gotta say right now, I'm an absolute liar for wearing this shirt.
speaking of this amazing shirt, you can grab yourself one. I also have a bunch of Eric the Electric merch down below in the description as well if you'd like to take a peek at some foodie merch. I'm sure you'd all enjoy it.
Anyways, with the breadsticks eaten, I continued onward.
I can't believe I have to do this. This meal didn't just call for one lover's pizza. It called for 1.5. Oh my goodness. It could not get any worse than this.
Actually, it could, and it was going to.
Oh, my stomach isn't there anymore. It's just pain. Oh.
But I was able to finish the other half of this pizza. Unfortunately, though, I wasn't quite done yet.
I'm so full right now.
Because only a few minutes after I finished this meal, Ricky texted me Kenneth's midnight snack. With time slowly ticking away, I headed back to Walmart for what felt like the 100th time.
I feel like my stomach is gonna file a restraining order against me if I keep eating like this.
But after grabbing my items, I realized that my fullness wasn't going to be the only issue here.
Just my luck.
And then on the way home, I had a mild panic attack, and for good reason.
No.
I could not believe I forgot my wallet, but I headed back to Walmart anyway, hoping it would be there. And fortunately, it was. Pro tip to all the aspiring YouTubers out there, it's never a good idea to use your wallet as a makeshift tripod. With less than an hour left until midnight, I could tell that this final meal was going to come down to the wire. After giving my stomach as much rest as possible, it was finally go time.
I'm so full.
With 10 minutes left, I got into the Ben & Jerry's, which is where I faced my first enemy.
Brain freeze. Oh.
Normally in this situation, I'd go heat up some water to fight the brain freeze, but I knew I just didn't have the time. So room temp water was gonna have to do.
I mean, a strawberry cheesecake. At least I'm getting some fruit in it today.
A few more spoonfuls later, I was already halfway through the pint. And then finally, I was able to finish it off.
The Ben & Jerry's is done.
With a little over 6 minutes left, I had 2 PB&J sandwiches to finish.
I hate you, Ricky. So much.
At this point, everything was on the line, but all that stood in the way between me and victory was one last PB&J sandwich. No words can describe how full I was at this point.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh. What is in my stomach right now?
The only thing I could do at this point was move around to try and help digest some of the food.
My body's saying yes, but my mind is saying no.
With less than 2 minutes left and only a quarter of the sandwich remaining,
Well over a minute left.
I knew this was going to be close. I stuffed the second to last bite into my mouth and checked the clock once again.
Woo! Mouth is clean. I'm gonna need to lay down for a little bit.
After one of the most ridiculous days of eating I've ever had, I sent Ricky this text. And what he ended up sending me back was the last thing I expected. I didn't realize it at first, but he was right. This did kind of feel like one of our dumb kid adventures.
Hey, what up, guys? I'm Eric Lampkin. Let's go, Ricky. You know, we should probably be watching where we're going. Eric, speed up.
Only this time, the stakes were real. One final diet was all that stood between me and the end of this challenge. But with 2 days to finish it, I felt confident I was going to end this challenge with a W. Little did I know, I was going to need every second I could get.
Oh, we've made it to day 6. Since Ricky said there's 5 diets, that means I have 1 more to go. Oh, I'm gonna go find out who's up next. Unfortunately.
The next name in the binder, Donna Simpson, someone who actually set out to become the world's heaviest woman. Donna's meal plan was so outrageous that it not only made national headlines, it made all the meal plans I'd eaten this week look like appetizers. And unfortunately for me, I had no idea what I was walking into.
People in the world's heaviest man's diet. All right, well, I guess it's time for some mashed potatoes. What do you think about boxed mashed potatoes?
I really like that.
What if you want to do the whole box? Microwave on high.
Dude, that's gonna make a ton of potatoes.
Really? Hey, at least this is like the softest meal of the week. Whew!
Not only were the potatoes super soft,
Dude, actually mashed potatoes, that's crazy.
they were the perfect food to start the day off with.
I feel like this is missing something.
But since they were just plain mashed potatoes, I needed something to bump up the flavor. So I decorated them with some fat-free cheese.
This feels like the first challenge of the week that the roof of my mouth actually approves of.
But even though this meal felt like a win, the victory was short-lived because of what showed up on my lock screen next.
Looks like I gotta go shopping again.
I headed back to the store to buy some bread. 5 loaves was a lot, but it was still pretty manageable. Little did I know, this was only the beginning.
You know, a lot of people have watched these videos I make for many years now, and they always ask me, Eric, do you ever think you'll give up carbs? And I always say the same thing, over my bread body.
After my incredibly hilarious joke, I got back to work on the mashed potatoes.
I'll never look at mashed potatoes the same after this.
I was able to finish them off,
All the mashed potatoes are done.
but I still had bread left to eat.
Mo butter, mo better.
After eating the bread and butter like a civilized human being, I decided to take a little bit of the outside out and make my own butter pocket. From the way I saw it, I was so close to finishing this challenge.
Got 3 loaves remaining.
But I was in for quite the surprise.
No more butter. Well, at least not that kind of butter.
I searched the pantry for something to help me take down the rest of this bread.
Oh, but my mouth is so annihilated.
Even the top of the sourdough bread was bothering my mouth. Little did I know, that was about to become the least of my worries.
Oh man, this bread is filling me up.
I hoped that making some classic PB&Js was going to get me to the finish line, but I was starting to hit the wall, which meant I had to think of something fast.
I dedicate this entire meal to all the gluten-free people watching, because I wish I were you right now.
I don't like to do it because honestly it's pretty disgusting, but dunking bread in water softens it up and makes it way easier to eat.
Final loaf.
A few minutes later, I finally conquered the bread boss and made it to the end, or so I thought.
If they didn't say it had to be pretty, it just had to be done. I always come out on top. Always. You gotta be kidding me.
At this point, I could barely think straight anymore, but it was off to the grocery store once again. I had absolutely no idea what sheer ridiculousness was about to unfold in front of me. I said the word dude in the span of 15 minutes more times than I'd ever said in my entire life. Not only was this an expensive grocery trip, but I now had an entire feast to prepare. So I got to work and spent the next few hours cooking. I decided that since I had one more day left to complete the challenge, I'd be going all in tomorrow. But before I did, there was one big question on my mind.
Honestly, I feel like I'm full enough to be at the weight goal, so it's time to see if I'm actually at the weight goal.
213. I hadn't seen that number in years. And tomorrow, I had a feeling it wasn't just my stomach that was going to be tested.
I feel like I just cooked enough food to feed an entire football team.
Out of thousands of food challenges, this was the biggest meal I'd ever been in front of. Looking over the massive spread of food across the table, I decided to tackle the thing I disliked the most, the stuffing. I made quick work of the stuffing and started diving into the ham, but only a few short minutes later, I fell back into a food coma once again.
My stomach isn't there anymore. It's just pain.
After a break, I was back at it a few hours later. The entire challenge had come to this, and I was determined to finish this meal by any means necessary. But each bite was becoming harder and harder to eat. As I continued on, one big question started to form in my mind.
Oh, this is miserable.
How could anyone eat this much food in a day?
Ugh.
So when I came back to the table an hour later, I found out the answer to that question for myself. And to say I was shocked would be an understatement.
Simpson high calorie diet.
When I first saw the title of the article, I was pretty skeptical.
30,000 calorie Christmas feast.
And then I saw this.
2 hours sitting? Yeah, and I'm the Queen of England.
Either Donna was the best professional eater in the world, or that article mistakenly put 2 hours instead of 2 months. Either way, I felt defeated. I'd made it to the final boss in the craziest challenge I'd ever attempted. But ultimately, Ricky was right. This really was the challenge I couldn't finish. But in my eyes, there was just one last thing I had to do.
Weighing time, baby.
I started this week at 184 pounds, and as I stepped on the scale, I weighed in at 218 pounds, the heaviest I've been in my entire life. When I first started this challenge, I expected I'd feel those old thoughts of insecurity again if I came close to even hitting this number. But in this moment, I felt okay. And in a weird way, being over that 215 number didn't bring up those old feelings that I expected it to. What I gained this week wasn't just weight, it was perspective. And I wasn't the only one who changed. Donna ended up losing over 100 pounds and decided to prioritize being a mom. And Kenneth also lost over 100 pounds after appearing on Half Ton Dad. Samantha Mason lost over 320 pounds and continues to share aspects of her weight loss journey on social media. Paul, he lost over 650 pounds and had one of the most dramatic weight loss transformations ever recorded. And Barry Austin, the man once called Britain's heaviest, eventually lost over 300 pounds. They lost weight, but they found something greater: power over their own stories. And while I may not have finished the challenge, ultimately I gained something much more meaningful: peace with who I've become. And if 15-year-old me could see where I am now, I think he'd be pretty proud. As for Ricky, well, it turns out there was still one more memory left for us to make.
Alright, man, how'd it go?
I couldn't finish it, but I did hit the weight goal though.
Oh, man, even though you technically failed, I'm still impressed.
At least I've got food covered for the next few days. Well, bro, there's one last thing I think we should do before you leave.
This is beyond brutal. It's the big day, everyone. I'm gonna be attempting, I can't believe I'm about to do this. I'm gonna try to run an entire marathon and eat 10,000 calories while doing it. I have no idea what's gonna happen. So this is gonna go kind of good, or this is gonna go really, really, really horrible. I have no idea what to expect. I'm gonna be attempting this marathon at a local bike path. I'm basically gonna be running up a hill and then running back down the hill, and I'm going to be trying to get in as much food as possible during the process and also dodging people at the same time. This is gonna be madness, everyone. But before we head out, I gotta get my snacks ready. This is gonna be brutal. Here goes nothing. I got pretty much half my calories in here, and I got the other half in my car, including the Krispy Kreme donuts. So I think I gotta get started. I think my plan of action is I'm just gonna split this up into chunks. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but regardless, it's time to get started. Game time. I'm 30 seconds in, and I already gotta pee.
26 minutes later.
3 miles down. So far, so good. Feels like I have an extra 10,000 pounds on my back. But you know what? It's all good, because it's all delicious calories, which I'm gonna be indulging in here in a few miles, just because I'm not quite that hungry yet. The first hour is down, folks. 7 miles completed. My pace is way slower than I want it to be, but it's probably because I've got a ton of snacks on my back.
15 minutes later.
All right, everybody, so we got rain clouds coming in. That's not very good. It just keeps getting better and better. I really shouldn't have eaten all that Raisin Bran last night.
I love cereal.
My stomach is telling me things that it shouldn't be telling me right now. Just gotta keep pushing.
2.5 minutes later.
Much better. All right, folks, we are officially at the halfway point. I think it's time to begin the calorie consumption. It's time to taste the rainbow. How am I even gonna do this? Oh, I wish I had another person filming me. Ladies and gentlemen, first one in the video is gonna get a W. Oh, W moment. Woo! Alright, you guys, so about 18 miles down, I think it's time for some donuts. Part of this complete breakfast. Could've known my car's still here. Did not plan this out too well. Whoa, bottoms up. Woo! I was gonna get a fire. Whoa. We gotta keep pushing. All right, I am really behind on calories right now. So I think it's time to get some healthy fats in. It's time for some trail mix. Delicious and nutritious. This is beyond brutal. Ugh.
14 minutes later.
Just like I suspected, I started too late and I'm already at 21 miles down. So I think I'm gonna have to run a little bit longer than the marathon, the full 26.2 miles. I'm gonna keep pushing until I get there. They're more than good, they're great. Oh, those are gonna get another fire.
Minutes later.
All right, it's pop that time. Pop tart time. Can't even talk. No! It is what it is. Whoa. Oh, wow. That is just what I need right now. I was gonna get one more W. Whoa. W. Well, the marathon's complete.
One eternity later.
Well, everyone, I'll give you guys the bad news first. Obviously, that was a huge fail. I just got completely obliterated by all that food. The good news, though, is that I just ran the most distance
ever in a single run at 32.5 miles. So I'm really stoked about that. It's been a big goal of mine for a while to run 50 miles, and I plan on doing that in 2021. If you guys want to know more about my fitness goals, my daily diet, just my life in general, you guys can check that out on my third channel. That'll be linked down below in the description. I'm not really sure how many calories I took down, but you know what I'm gonna do, everyone? I think I'm just gonna start the 10,000 calorie challenge for the video right now.
Can I go ahead and get 2 triple baconators, please? And then 2 medium fries, please?
Gotta get my burger and fries, because we just did some exercise.
Alrighty, Electric Empire. So we're gonna start over here, folks, okay? I got the all new Cinnamon Toast Crunch chocolate churros right here. I'm super excited to try those out. New ding dongs, and this Nestle Toll House cookie dough ice cream. That's gonna be delicious. What I'm most excited for is the all new dessert minis from Krispy Kreme. I actually had them on the Electrics, my second channel. That's where I do all my other food stuff. You guys can check that out. That'll be down below in the description as well. And of course, we had to get some Wendy's. You guys can see that it is 7/10, January 22nd. So you guys know we're doing this all on the same day. I'm gonna post a little screenshot of the run. Put that right there. You guys can check that out. That over there, very cold. I'm just really hoping that I can take all of this down with my appetite where it's at. But regardless, I'm gonna give it my best shot. That being said, the exact amount of calories for this meal are gonna be listed like right there. In total macros, that means protein, carbs, fat. Those are gonna be listed like right there for you guys. Without further ado, Electric Empire, this is the post-marathon 10,000 calorie challenge. Let's do this. Before we get into this though, you all know the drill. You guys gotta give the video a like if you poop today. The glorious Baconator. You guys know, we gotta start with this first. Mmm. Not what I needed right now. I didn't get one really big fire. Ooh. I don't care what anybody says. Wendy's, they're always consistent. They're always consistent. Every single time. I don't think I've ever done this before. Let's see what a Wendy fried Baconator tastes like. Not bad.
I wonder how many people are going to leave comments about how red my nose is in this video.
Baconators are down. Those hit the spot. Exercise? I thought you meant...
Eric, you already used that joke. It's getting old.
I really need to get a new joke. Alright guys, well, our Wendy's fries and burgers are down. Now I think we gotta move on over to this all new Nestle Toll House cookie dough ice cream, which I'm really excited to try. Ooh, just look at that. Doesn't that just look magnificent? You guys know we had to pull out the big boy spoon for this one. Right for you. Oh, I should have got coffee for this one. Everyone, I'm not just saying this. This is one of the best cookie dough ice creams I've had in a long time. In my opinion, the only way to really judge a solid cookie dough ice cream is by the size of the cookie dough chunks that are in the ice cream. And I gotta say that these are superb cookie dough chunks. Let me just put it that way. All right, everybody, well, the ice cream is down. Oh man, that was delicious. Absolutely delicious. Now everybody, I think this cereal's, it's calling my name. So we're gonna head on over to our chocolate churro cereal next. I'm very curious about this. Let me know down below if you guys have tried the original Cinnamon Toast Crunch churro cereal. It's legendary. It is legendary. So that is what we got.
effort, determination, health, and fitness.
Alrighty, folks, it's time to see what this chocolate churro cereal is all about. Here we go. Okay, everyone. That is going to get a W. Oh, W. That, my friends, is legendary. You know what, everybody? I think I have something that would make a great addition to this. Trust me on this. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna feel like tomorrow. Oh. Muddy Buddies, okay? You guys haven't had this before, specifically the peanut butter chocolate Muddy Buddies. They are legendary. Like, they're actually a step beyond legendary. Just saying. That's all you need right there, folks.
I wonder why refrigerators have lights, but freezers don't have lights.
I would say my favorite part of this cereal is that the milk is actually like just straight chocolate. That's how you know you got a good cereal. All right, everybody, well, cereal's all down. Whew, that was delicious. Now we gotta move on over to our caramel ding dongs. Caramel or caramel? I say caramel. What's inside? Ding dong. Just tastes like a ding dong. Ding dongs are down. So far, everything's been sensational, but now we have to move on over to the star of the show, the all-new Krispy Kreme dessert mini donuts next. Just take a gander at that, everybody. You know, you're probably all gonna just go, Eric, you already had donuts today, but everyone, 3 donuts in one Eric the Electric video? Really? No, it's not gonna cut it. So I made sure to include these in this video. I think we're gonna go with the birthday cake one first. I mean, everyone just check that out. That is a good looking mini donut right there. To health and fitness. So good. Right, I'm not just saying it to say it, but Krispy Kreme really knocked it out of the park with these donuts. Now we're gonna move on over to the lemon one. I know I say this a lot. I'm a really big hater of lemon in desserts, but this lemon donut really. It's more of like a lemon vanilla donut. It's really good. Just in case any of you care about my opinion. We have the strawberry cheesecake and the chocolate chip cookie dough next. You know what? I think we're gonna do the strawberry one and get some fruit in today. Oh, all right, Electric Empire. We have final donut here left. This is the chocolate chip cookie dough. If you guys are still with the flow of the video, go ahead and comment down below, run, because I did a lot of running today. You know what, guys, actually, I'm full. Sorry. That's it for this week's challenge. No! I'm just kidding. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give the video a like. It would mean the absolute world to me. And also, if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more insane food challenges. I'm gonna go ahead and put another food and fitness challenge right there for you guys, and also another playlist that I think you're gonna enjoy. I'll put right there. Once again, thanks for watching the video, everybody, and I'll see you guys in next week's food challenge.
Just look at it. Isn't it beautiful? That's about $150 worth of Shake Shack right there, folks. I love Shake Shack. In fact, I love it so much that in this week's food challenge, I decided I wanted to try and order and eat everything on the Shake Shack menu. This is how it went.
I just ordered like $150 worth of Shake Shack. That's a lot of Shake Shack.
All right, everybody, can we just take a look at this spread here, everyone? This is insane. You guys have always loved Shake Shack, and I felt it was time for another entire menu challenge. So I went ahead and ordered everything on the Shake Shack menu, and I am super excited to eat this. And speaking of the fast food game, I've done quite a lot of entire menu challenges, but I do need to know, Electric Empire, what do you guys want to see for the next entire menu challenge? You guys got to drop a comment down below, because I do read my comments, and I do love when you guys throw suggestions at me. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys want to see for the next entire menu challenge. Actually, let's just hold up. Let me just make sure that I got everything I paid for first. So there's 21 menu items. So 1, 2, 3, 21 menu items. They nailed it. Okay, they nailed it. I just gotta say, I love when restaurants nail it. Plus a 22nd item. In case you guys didn't know, Shake Shack actually has dog treats. I mean, everyone, this is an entire menu challenge, okay? How could I not? Okay, they even have like the emblem in there, okay? I can't guarantee that I'm gonna eat these. I mean, that would be like kind of like a dessert thing, even though I already have shakes. I mean, that's definitely not really like a good dessert to just have some shakes.
Yeah, I might actually need to have some dessert after this. Might actually be a bad idea though.
Maybe if I'm still hungry. Anyways, everyone, I'm starving and I've got a lot of food to eat. So without further ado, everyone, this is the entire Shake Shack menu challenge. Let's do this.
Before we get started, you guys know the drill. You should know the drill by now. You gotta give the video a like if you happen to poop today. All right, so I think I'm gonna start with the original cheeseburger first.
It's time to get this started in 3, 2, and 1. Boom. Woo! That's good. First one's down. I think the plan of attack here is to just get the most daunting items out of the way first. This is the Shack Stack, I think, right here. It's a fried mushroom patty with a beef patty and some healthy vegetables inside. Forgot Shake Shack had wieners. I'm not the best at eating wieners. In fact, I really just don't like eating wieners, but it's not a bad wiener.
That's what she said.
Now I think we gotta get into the bacon cheese fries. Probably should eat this with a fork, but you guys know I don't believe in utensils. Mmm. Everyone, I gotta say, this cookies and cream shake is one of the best cookies and cream shakes I've had in a long time, okay? Usually Jack in the Box's Oreo cookie shake, I reserve to be the best, but this is up there. This is delicious. They gave me a side of Shack sauce, and I can't remember right now how Shack, or like what Shack sauce tastes like. Let me try it right now. It looks like mayo. It tastes like mayo. Nothing really that special. But these are definitely special.
I wonder what would happen if I tried to eat as many French fries as possible. On second thought, that actually sounds like a bad idea.
Correct, folks. Well, our cheese fries are down. So far, it's going amazing. Got the shake down as well. Most of our drinks are completed. Looks like I just have this custard left and the root beer float. Now I think it's time to move on over to an item that I've never ever tried before from Shake Shack.
Now this is called the Roadside Double. Kind of looks like a roadside, literally a roadside roadkill. This right here, my friends, is the Roadside Double. It is a double cheeseburger with caramelized onions and some sauce on it that I do not know what the sauce is. As you all should know by now, fast food items can look sensational, but do they taste sensational? Okay, that's the real question. I feel like this should be jazzed up though. I mean, clearly there's not enough sauce on this already, so let's spruce this up a little bit. That's more cheese, because there probably wasn't enough on there anyways. Shake Shack's cheese is superb. And there we go, everybody. Now it's time to try out the roadside double.
That is so good. W. O. W moment. Nice. I love cheese. Yes. All right, the chicken bites are down. Those are actually really good. Now, I gotta give a suggestion to Shake Shack really quick. Shake Shack, if you wanna take your menu up a notch, add a fish sandwich. A fish sandwich on the Shake Shack menu would literally make Shake Shack the most legendary fast food place out there. I love fish sandwiches. Now, this is the avocado bacon burger right here. I'm not the biggest fan of avocado, but I'm gonna eat it anyways. It definitely did not hold out on the avocado here. There are ways to make this more tolerable. Okay. I mean, it could be worse. There could be pickles on this. Oh. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 technically menu items left. This is almost done right here. I feel like this video needs a little extra spice. You know, sometimes dog treats can taste good, okay? They definitely can. You know, I've had some dog treats in my life before, and I'm not going to go into specifics as to why I ate them, because I may have been just not in the right frame of mind. But you know, I'm eating Shake Shack, and Shake Shack has dog treats, and you know, this is an entire menu challenge, so let's go ahead. Maybe it's gonna be good. Let's just pretend like that never happened. I had to do it, okay? I just had to do it. We have another new item right here. This is the chicken bacon avocado burger right here. And this is Shake Shack's vanilla custard right here, and it's actually not really custard anymore because it's melted, but I feel like I needed to get it, so I actually don't think I've ever had this before. Try it out right now. Okay, everyone, that is, wow, that is pleasant to my taste buds. That is gonna get a W. Oh, W moment. And I'm really surprised because it's not really, like, solid, but still tastes amazing.
That's what she said.
Can I even do that? Okay, whatever. Yeah, not bad at all. This one's got a kick. Now, we have these two menu items right here. Put cucumbers on this? Oh, what are you doing? Get out of here, please. Filth.
Dessert is calling my name. Calling my name.
Alright, here's the shroom burger. Shrooms are awesome. What can I say?
What? Mushrooms are actually really delicious.
Alright, everybody. Well, just like that, Electric Empire, the entire Shake Shack menu has been consumed. I mean, look at all these boxes. Box right there. Box right there. Box right there. Box right there. There's no boxes with stuff in it. You guys ready for it? My favorite menu item tonight was, without a doubt, these absolutely delicious dog treats right here. You guys got to go to Shake Shack. Make sure you get the dog treats. Make sure you include them in your meal. Jokes. I gotta say, my favorite item tonight, the roadside burger, was absolutely sensational. But everybody, if you've been an OG subscriber and you've watched menu challenges from me before, you guys know I have something called the bonus round. And if you don't know what that means, you're about to find out.
Just because last week, all that ice cream, unfortunately, some of it was melted. So I figured, you know what? For this week, I'm gonna eat a pint of ice cream that is rock hard. And I also picked up some delicious Hostess birthday cakes at the store because I love Hostess. And because I love Hostess and I love ice cream, I figured it would make the perfect bonus round.
Let's see what's on the inside right here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There we go. There's the inside look right there. Ooh. Ooh. Mmm. Snickers is down. Especially everybody, if you guys have watched the food challenge up to this point and you're still rolling with me, comment down below cake, because I'm about to bite into this Hostess cake. And like always, be sure to stick around if you want to see a sneak peek of next week's food challenge, because it's gonna be a good one. Boom. That has been another food challenge, and hopefully you're ready for what I got coming for you next week.
Next week, I attempt to eat 10,000 calories and burn 10,000 calories, all in the same bike ride.
All right, so 7,150 calories has been burned. I need to talk to you guys about fitness. Fitness, whole donut in my mouth.
If you guys enjoyed this challenge, you can keep watching more Eric the Electric videos. I'm gonna go ahead and put another crazy fast food challenge that I've done right up there for you, as well as a fast food playlist that I think you're gonna enjoy. I'll put right up there as well. Of course, if you wanna see more food challenges like this, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and give the video a like, and I'll see you guys in next week's food challenge.
30,000 calories of Halloween candy in 24 hours. That's what I challenged myself to do for this year's Halloween challenge. The rules are simple. The challenge is not so simple. I have 24 hours to consume 30,000 calories. Those calories have to come only from Halloween candy. Everyone, I've done some pretty insane calorie challenges in my life, but this calorie challenge might just go down as one of the most difficult ones I've ever attempted. This is the 30,000 calorie Halloween candy challenge. Strategy time. The average piece of Halloween candy contains between 80 to 100 calories. That means I'll have to consume between 300 to 375 pieces of Halloween candy in order to meet my 30,000 calorie goal. Eating just straight up Halloween candy is going to be very, very difficult, mainly because it's just straight sugar, which is why I made sure to choose candy with a balance of fat and sodium in order to avoid flavor fatigue as much as possible.
All right, everybody, I have a lot of candy in these bags right here. This is going to be one of the craziest calorie challenges that I've ever attempted to do. Like always though, before I get into the calorie craziness, it's time to get a little pre-challenge weight. It's time to get meal number one assembled. Gosh, this is gonna be insane. Unsweetened almond milk. It's gonna help out a lot. I'm gonna really need to strategize with this challenge, so let's figure out what I'm gonna do for meal number one. 14, 16, 20 times 1,200, 2,800. All right, everybody, so I think I've got meal number one assembled and ready to go. Like I said earlier, I have no idea how this is gonna go. I've done crazy candy-based challenges in one sitting, but I've never tried to take down an insane amount of candy in 24 hours. So who knows what's gonna happen. The amount of sugar today is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be ridiculous. But if you guys believe in me, if you think I can get to that 30,000 calorie goal, go ahead and comment down below, spooky, because it's Halloween. Oh, and speaking of spooky and Halloween, I know I don't have my costume on yet, but stick around. Now that that's out of the way, I think I'm ready to get into this challenge. Where's my phone? So it's October 17th, 12:15, and I'm ready to get this challenge started. I'm gonna go ahead and put the total calories for this meal right here, right up there for you guys, and also the total macros for this meal will be right up there as well. Without further ado, my friends, my family, this is the 30,000 calorie Halloween candy cheat day challenge. Let's do this. All right, everybody, first things first, you guys know what to do. Go ahead and give the video a like if you haven't pooped today. By the way, this is gonna be our trash receptacle today. All the trash is gonna go in here. Alrighty, now it's time to get this started. Alright, everybody, it's time to get this challenge started in 3, 2, and 1. Boom. I love Crunch Bars. All right, everybody, well, Crunch Bars are down. Now I think it's time to get over to our Twix. So far, it's going great. It's the worst part about Halloween is just you get all your candy and then it's just unwrapping all of your candy. Twix, it's all a mix. Ooh. All right, Twix is down. So far, it's going great. I mean, I really didn't plan on starting with this much chocolate. Probably a bad decision. Might be a good decision. I don't know. Actually, none of this is a good decision, so. Whatever. Now it's time to move on over to one of my favorite Halloween candies, or chocolate bars, whatever you want to call it, Butterfingers. And fun fact about Butterfingers, they're gluten-free. Just in case you wanted to know. W. Oh. W. All right, everybody, well, Butterfingers are down. Next, I think it's time to move on over to these Creepy Cocoa Crisp M&Ms. Let's see what we got here. Let's try it. Not bad.
This is another one of those videos where I really hope my dentist isn't watching.
M&Ms are down. Those are actually pretty good. And now it's time to move on over to the Kit Kat Witch's Brew over here. I'm not really too sure what this is. Crisp wafers and marshmallow flavored cream and naturally artificially flavored. We're gonna find out if these are worth it or not. All right, Witch's Brew Kit Kats. Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna say those are worth it. You go far. Now it's time to move on over to our last item here, which is the Franken Cup Reese's. These are Reese's cups with green colored cream, apparently. I'm really not too sure what happened to them, but I mean, it's Halloween, so it's okay for candy to not look pretty. Ooh, just like that, everybody. That has been meal number 1. I gotta say, everything tasted absolutely amazing. I mean, it's candy, so how could it not? So it's currently 12:51, still the same day. I'm gonna go ahead and put the total calories consumed right up there for you guys, along with the total macros. Those will be put right up there as well. Now, everybody, it's time for me to put all this sugar to use.
Talk about a sugar crash.
All right, everybody, you could say that I just had quite the sugar crash. I knew this was gonna happen. I just didn't think it would happen this early on in the challenge, but regardless, I think it's time to get to our second meal. I'm gonna do some M&M glow-in-the-dark chocolate, and then I have some variety pack candy bars on the, we already have enough Reese's on this table, so those, we'll go over there for now. Oh, it's Halloween. It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly. Okay, I won't do it. I like bananas, all right? Why not dress like a banana for Halloween? And speaking of bananas, I feel like meal 2 needs a little addition. Alrighty, perfect. We have a nice strawberry banana smoothie just to get some vitamins in today. Alrighty folks, I think I'm ready to get meal number 2 started. Running a little bit behind here on time. October 17th, still the same day. I'm gonna go ahead and put the total calories for this meal right up there, and the total macros for this meal will be right over there. Without further ado, everybody, this is meal number 2. Now, you may have noticed that today I have not been having any diet soda. The reason why I haven't had any is just because I really need bitterness just to counteract all this sweetness. So that's why we're drinking iced coffee. I think I'm gonna get into one of my favorites first. Alrighty folks, it's time to start with our paydays. So I'm gonna get started in 3, 2, and 1. That saltiness. That is everything I need right now. Yeah, sorry, everybody. This banana suit was a terrible decision. It was getting very hot in there. Don't worry though. I have a better, well, my Halloween costume is gonna level up. Bit or not. I'm gonna get on over to these glow-in-the-dark M&Ms.
This is what I always dreamed of doing as a kid. I don't know if I should be proud or absolutely disgusted with myself.
Alright, everybody, well, our M&Ms are down. There's a lot of M&Ms, goodness gracious. Alright, now we're gonna move on over to our Reese's White Pumpkins. These are white Reese's peanut butter cups with white cream. And as you guys can tell, well, I'll just say that the Reese's seem to have been misshaped in every single package. And I really don't know why. I mean, at least it still tastes like a Reese's. Alright, so let's try out the Reese's Pumpkins. Here we go.
I guess this is a peanut butter cup bar? Even if it's melted, it's still delicious.
Alright, everybody, well, all the Reese's are down. Now I got this plate, and then whatever I decided to eat in these chocolate bars right here. But I'm getting to the point where I need a little change in scenery. Thankfully, decided to bring these to the party. I'm actually really surprised. I'm just now using these. You guys are confused as to why I have Cheetos on the table right now? Well, you probably haven't watched enough of my sweet challenges, because you probably don't know about flavor fatigue. It's a very, very real thing. And it's really not too fun. That's exactly what I'm going through right now. To be honest, I'm debating whether or not I should even get into this box of chocolate bars. But Mrs. Electric made something, and I think it would go really good in this challenge. Now these, my friends and family, are homemade Twix bars. Regular Twix bar, homemade Twix bar. Let's see. Not bad.
Ugh, so much chocolate. I gotta get into the Cheetos. W. Oh. W. Oh, where have you been all my life? I love Cheetos.
I am 100,000% gonna regret eating all this chocolate tomorrow morning. 100,000%.
Alright, buddy, well, we got some Milky Ways on here. These are just simply caramel Milky Ways. If you guys are here still with me, just go ahead and comment down below whatever your favorite Halloween candy is. Because there's a very, very high chance that I've probably consumed it in this video. Just saying. Fairly high chance. Alright, well, I'm gonna say I'm just gonna forego this plate because I've already eaten enough Twickers and Snickers. Twickers? Why? Twix and Snickers. I'm gonna go ahead and put the total calories up there. Total macros will be right up there as well. So it's about 454. Still the same day. I'm going to brush my teeth and I'm gonna try to move my body again in some way, shape, or form.
I swear, every single time I do one of these crazy calorie challenges, each one affects me differently.
I need salt in my life. Sounds good.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how about you?
Great. What can I for you today?
Can I get 2 orders of fries, please?
All right, total 623. Thank you.
Thank you. It's probably the smallest Wendy's order I've ever made. Oh my goodness, I feel like a chocolate panda right now. Just a big chocolate panda. Thanks a lot. All right, everybody, well, here we are. This is the point in the challenge where I legit just don't even feel like I'm a part of my own body anymore. But here we are. This is a lot of candy. Why not? Goodness gracious, it's a lot of candy. We have meal number 3 right here. All right, so it is currently 7 o'clock, still October 17th. The only things I really want right now in my life are salt and water. I have salt right there, and I have water over there somewhere. I cannot believe how difficult this challenge has been so far. But regardless, I hope you guys are enjoying this challenge, and I hope you guys are enjoying your Halloween. I'm gonna go ahead and put the total calories for this meal right up there, and total macros will be right up there. Without further ado, everybody, it's time for meal number 3.
Who would have thought that all this candy finally would make me just have muscles? Every piece of candy is generally between 70 to 100 calories. So for each plate, I'm just estimating, all right? Because I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions about that. How could I forget my beverages? Goodness gracious. Always gotta come prepared. I'll pick that up later.
Start with the Almond Joy. Been a while since I've had these. Now I remembered I'm not a fan. Right. Well, I'm omitting the Milk Duds from this meal just because I can. Seriously, if somebody found a way to unwrap Halloween candy in the most time-efficient way, they'd be a billionaire, right? There needs to be like a special machine
It just shears off the unnecessary packaging that we use for Halloween candy. Give the video a like if you agree with me, or just comment down below. Or you can just tell me that I'm an absolute genius for saying something like that. Alright everybody, well, we got a fair amount of candy down. Next, I have to get to something that I should have gotten to much earlier in this video. All my OG subscribers should know what's coming. It's a yearly tradition on this channel. I've been doing this for a while, but before I get to it, oh my goodness gracious, oh my goodness. Every time I open one of these, I get so happy to see it, even though I shouldn't be. Oh my goodness, it is magnificent. Just take a moment to admire that half-pound Reese's peanut butter cup. Let's just take that moment and break it open. Just like so. Ooh. There we go. So unnecessary, but so delicious. Anyways, everybody, it's time to make some spooky sauce. If you guys don't know what spooky sauce is, you're about to find out. Oh. Step 1, get a bowl. Step 2, place Reese's in bowl. Or any chocolate candy that you desire. Step 3, place bowl in microwave. Oh. Step 4, microwave. And there we have it, the base for the spooky sauce. Now all you guys gotta do is mix accordingly. And that, my friends and family, is the spooky sauce. W. O. W. I need to get tea. This is something I need inside my body as soon as possible.
That's what she said.
I'm sorry, I just had a moment. Hopefully this goes to my actual arms. Oh, man. Oh. That's definitely not good. Alright, everybody, whoa. I just gotta be 100% honest. There's no way I'm spending time unwrapping that. And I don't even know about that, but I think I gotta resort to tactics right now. Special tactics. Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's a lot of Twix Plus. Tonight's gonna be very rough. Alright, I don't even know what I just made, but it's like 4,000 calories. Oh man, everyone, my stomach is just in shambles right now. Absolute shambles. You guys still believe me? Comment down below. Sour, because hopefully this sour candy is gonna help out. It just tastes like sugar. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Oh my goodness. It's so terrible.
Please, no! No!
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Oh my goodness. I feel so... Oh, I feel so much better. Oh man. Well, everybody,
I don't think I've actually ever done that before in the middle of a calorie challenge like this. Unfortunately, this was an epic fail. This is like the first time I've ever legitimately failed to get to my goal for a 24-hour calorie challenge, and I really had no idea how this was gonna go. And regardless, I can't win them all. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call it quits, throw in the candy wrapper and just say that's gonna be it. But just because I am curious, I'm gonna show you all my ending body weight right now. Regardless of whether I finished or not, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go ahead and put last year's Halloween challenge right along the sidebar, along with another calorie challenge that I think you guys are gonna enjoy as well. Of course, if you guys like these calorie challenges and wanna see more, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and I'll see you all in the next food challenge.
Warning. The calorie challenge you're about to watch was one of the most insane things I've ever done in my life. No, but really.
Oh my goodness. This is by far one of the craziest challenges I've ever done.
For your own sake, do not attempt to reenact anything you're about to witness. Now, what happens when an absolute moron with a 14-pound stomach capacity decides to eat as many calories as he possibly can in a day? Time to find out.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need the Pepto too. World's healthiest grocery haul.
Tomorrow is gonna be absolutely ridiculous. It's time to do what I do best.
I'm pretty good at running, but I'm better at eating.
Alright everybody, we have our deliciousness on the table. It's time for yet again another insane calorie challenge. I hope you're all ready for this one because this is about to get very, very intense. A few weeks ago, I did the as many calories as possible challenge in 60 minutes, and I ended up hitting a new personal record at just over 23,000 calories. As I said in that video, I am prepping for something huge, something gigantic this year. So in this challenge, I'm attempting to take down as many calories as possible in 8 hours. I've never attempted to take down as many calories as possible in 8 hours before. The only thing I've ever attempted that's somewhat close to that is what I did in the 100,000 calorie challenge. In that challenge, I took down just about 34,000 calories in 6 hours. So today, my goal is to be able to beat that number. Every food that I eat today is going to be either incredibly calorie dense or it's going to be a vessel for something calorie dense. If you don't know what I mean by that, you're gonna find out in just a few seconds. But anyways, everyone, meal one is looking absolutely amazing. I got some Frosted Flakes right here, some Pop-Tarts, some Reese's Puffs, some Captain Crunch cereal treats, some peanut butter, some cinnamon rolls, which are looking absolutely amazing. And then I whipped up some delicious brown sugar butter right here. This is gonna come in very, very handy for what I've got going on today because I'm gonna have to get in as many calorie dense foods as possible, and this is just the perfect way to do it. I've also got some other goodies as well, but we'll get into that in just a few seconds. Oh, and before I get into this challenge, I'm about to eat an absurd amount of calories. Let's get a pre-challenge weigh. Anyways, everyone, I'm ready to get this challenge officially started. Without further ado, everyone, this is meal number one of me attempting to eat as many calories as possible in 8 hours. Let's do this. First things first, gotta get my liquid calories assembled. Everyone, liquid calories are gonna come in very handy today, so I made sure I got some full-fat oat milk, extra creamy. I could have gotten regular milk, but I'm gonna try to minimize dairy as much as I can this early in the challenge. I think I'm gonna start with my cereal bars first. Dang, these are only 90 calories. Should have read that label better. Actually, before I get started though, I need to show you all the date and time. All right, so as you can see right there, 11:56. What day is it today? May 3rd. All right, everybody, it's time to get this challenge started in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, let's do this. Now it's really time to get this party started. Cereal bars are down. So far, it's going absolutely amazing. Yeah, I think next we gotta just get on over to these cinnamon rolls right here. I could eat these just like regular cinnamon rolls, but this is a calorie challenge. You guys know what I gotta do.
Step 1, add more icing to your already iced cinnamon roll. Step 3, peanut butter. And step number 4, just toss out some caramel syrup, just like so. There we go. Woo! W. Oh, W moment.
Okay, I'm gonna start making headway on this peanut butter. All right, so we're about 10 minutes in. Time for me to try out this brown sugar butter that I made. As you can probably tell, I love cinnamon sugar. Bro. Cinnamon rolls are down. Oh, wow, those are good. I think I'm gonna move on over to my cereal. Yeah, I gotta get some real quick. So as you can see, our bottom layer is Reese's Puffs. Top layer, Frosted Flakes. Now something I did a few weeks ago, which was absolutely amazing and also very, very calorie dense, was me adding half and half to my cereal. So that's what I'm gonna do today. All I'm gonna say is that this combo is legendary. Whew, almost done with our cereal. 20 minutes in. All right, everybody, well, our massive bowl of cereal is down. Whew. Add some more Reese's Puffs and Frosted Flakes, but yeah, oh well. You already knew what was gonna happen. Come on. Oh, strawberry Pop-Tarts and peanut butter, it's like a PB&J. So good. Oh man. That's bacon. All right, bacon and this peanut butter are down. Oh man. All right, everybody, well, I think that's gonna be it for meal number 1. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and put a food list of everything consumed for each meal right along the side for you all to see, so you know exactly how many calories is in what and what my progress is. And like usual, I'm gonna put the total calories consumed for each meal right up there or right there somewhere, along with the total macros as well. So that took us about 32 minutes, 31 minutes, whatever. And it is still May 3rd. Now everyone, it's time for me to do the second thing that I do best, carb cycling.
Those cinnamon rolls were definitely the wrong choice. Ugh. All right, the bike ride's all done. That was rough. Now it's time to get to meal number 2.
I've realized over the years that when it comes to extreme calorie challenges like this, liquid calories are my best friend. For meal number 2, I decided to make this high-calorie shake with coconut oil, peanut butter, and almond milk. These high-calorie shakes are digested a lot quicker, and they also help keep my calories high, which is exactly what I need.
All right, everybody, so here we are. It is time for meal number 2. I was actually not even gonna do a second meal and just do 2 meals for this entire challenge, but I decided I want to try a little something different. All right, so here we are. So right now it's currently 3:22, still the same day. We have about 4.5 hours left. For meal number 2, I'm not gonna be going too crazy. I'm just trying to get some easier calories in. So I got some macadamia nuts over here. Also have some all new crunchy cookie M&Ms. Then I have some cookie butter, some Oreos, and some Hostess cupcakes, and then these shakes right here, which are gonna come in very useful for getting easy calories. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the total calories for this meal right up there, and the total macros for this meal will be right up there as well. Without further ado, everybody, it's time to get to meal number 2. Okay, that's ready. And here we go. You know what happened. These shakes are very rich. Oh man, cookie butters. Also very rich. Right now, I think I'm gonna get into these crunchy cookie M&Ms. Let's see how these bad boys are gonna taste. I mean, they look like regular M&Ms. I'm gonna give you guys an accurate rating here after thousands of calories of junk food's already been in my body. Okay, that tastes like a crunchy cookie. 8 out of 10. Not bad. I mean, these are good, but nothing touches the chocolate peanut butter M&Ms. All right, M&Ms are down. First shake is down. Yeah, it's down. I think I'm gonna get on over to this macadamia nuts right here. Because everyone's gonna watch this video and be like, Eric,
try doing that with healthy food.
you know what? Fine. All right, let's get some healthy fats in. Healthy fats. Oh. Oh. I've always wanted to see like how many nuts I could eat. That came out wrong. I meant like for a food challenge, like how many almonds and peanuts I could put down. If you guys want to see that, comment nut below. Right, got a little bit more nuts left in the bag, but I think I'm gonna get on over these Oreos right here. Chocolate peanut butter pie Oreos. I got the rest of this jar of cookie butter left too, so I gotta, improvise here. I get to this point in calorie challenges, everyone, where my brain just stops working and I just start thinking with my stomach instead. And so like that's what I'm coming up with right now, Right. Alright, cookie butter down. Okay. Whew. Oreos and the shake are down. I have about half of this pack left, so I'm just gonna save that for my midnight snack. I won't actually be eating that for my midnight snack. The only thing I'm gonna be eating for my midnight snack is gonna be water, along with tons of bread. Just like that, everybody. It's gonna be meal number 2. Man, that was nutty. So, looks like we are halfway through right now. It is 3:53 right now. The next half of this challenge is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, right now, I do not feel the greatest at all. I'm gonna go ahead and put the total calories for this meal up there. Macros will be up there as well, along with the food list. Now, everybody, it's time for me to move my body because I feel like a beached whale right now. Kind of. I mean, I kind of feel like a walking water balloon and a beached whale. Yeah, I think you get the picture. This is usually the point during my calorie challenges where I go to the gym. But right now, I am most definitely not going to be going to the gym because your boy is very full. I've said this time and time again, but activity during these calorie challenges, movement is very, very important, mainly for digestion purposes. As I've already said in this video, I've got a big challenge planned this year, so I've really got to start practicing on this stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this walk with my dog, and then it's time for the final push. Dun, 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 dun. It's KFC time.
Chicken season by KFC. Would you like to try a buck? What can I do for you?
Hi there. Can I get 2 orders of popcorn chicken, please? Thanks a lot, man. Have a good one. Next stop. I'm hating it. It's gonna be the smallest McDonald's order I've ever made. Can I get 2 medium orders of fries, please?
Anything else?
That is gonna be it. Unless you have more sanity for me, because I'm running out of mine. I feel like right now, all I want to do is chug a gallon of water. I have like 2.5 hours left in this craziness. I'm gonna really have to cram in the calories when I get home.
There you go.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Oh, they smell amazing.
Have
Have a good one. You too.
This Pizza Hut pizza has just over 2,000 calories in it. That's just not gonna cut it.
I really love McDonald's fries. I also happen to really enjoy cheese. I also really love KFC's popcorn chicken. So why not combine them with a stuffed crust pepperoni pizza from Pizza Hut? The end product was actually pretty spectacular. I also realized that I've never made a dessert pizza before. So why not try it right now? For my topping, I decided to use Reese's peanut butter cups, a Snickers bar, and a giant Heath bar. Now, like I said, I've never made a dessert pizza before, so I was hoping this was going to come out good. I made sure to add a lot of Nutella, my crushed up chocolate bars, and a personal favorite of mine, Reese's Pieces. As my stomach capacity is becoming increasingly limited, a high calorie shake is mandatory. I started with a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, followed that up with some Nesquik, some peanut butter, and finished it off with some half and half. I've got a lot of calories to make up, so I have to get this shake down.
All right, everybody, here we are. It is about that time for the final push. Right now, I just actually, you know what? You've probably seen me like this before. So, but anyways, everybody, I have this ultimate pizza right here, which is packed full of calories. I decided I wanted to go ahead and get that. It's a pepperoni stuffed crust pizza topped with cheese, McDonald's fries, popcorn chicken, extra cheese, and then I decided to make this homemade, actually semi-homemade because I didn't make the crust, dessert pizza. I also have some Ben & Jerry's half-baked peanut butter ice cream over here as well, and I have my shakes. I have some trail mix, and then I had to go out and get something very, very special for this video. Since this is a calorie challenge and I don't really ever get to eat this dessert very often because it's so high calorie, I save it specifically for videos like this. I went out and got some delicious, tasty, amazing baklava. I completely lost track of time, so it looks like I have 37 minutes left in this challenge. Everyone, I gotta just shut up and just start eating before I do though, so y'all know it's the same day and everything. Without further ado, everybody, it's time to get into this last final meal. This is meal number 3. You know what I think I want to do is start with this ice cream. Now that is a good looking top right there. When I'm delirious, my jokes just get even dumber. Oh man. All right, everybody, it's time to get into this. I mean, this flavor is not bad, but nothing touches the original peanut butter cup. Oh wait, Ben & Jerry's is down. I'm gonna make headway on this pizza right here. Just check it out, everybody. W. Oh, W. Man, this pizza's amazing, but it is dense. Intensity is not my friend right now. I'm surprised it took this long for me to use ranch in this challenge. All right, everybody, well, first part of the shake is done. I'm not gonna lie, right now I'm just completely over this pizza. It looks like I have about 25 minutes left, but I'm gonna get to this dessert pizza now because I actually want to see if this is gonna taste good.
So that's our dessert pizza right there. I just gotta say, if this video gets 50,000 likes, I'll do an as many calories as possible challenge for longer than 8 hours. Maybe like 24 hours, possibly even 48 hours. That would be absolutely ridiculous. So if you want to see that, go ahead and give the video a like. And while you're down there giving the video a like, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Anyways, let's get into this. Ooh. Great, buddy. Well, that's about as far as I'm gonna get into that dessert pizza. Now it's just all about easy calories. Thank goodness for nuts and trail mix. Oh man. Just gotta think healthy fats. Healthy fats. Oh, bro. 17 minutes left. I don't know if I can do this. Goodness gracious. It looks like with the quarter I have left of that pizza and the 3/8 of that pizza that I have left, I just need to get this down, the rest of the shake, and my baklava, and I'll be just over 35,000 calories. Oh my goodness. Oh. I feel delirious. I feel like my stomach is detached from my body. Trail mix is down. Oh my goodness. This is by far one of the craziest challenges I've ever done. I have 8 minutes left. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 baklavas. I don't know if I can do this. If I don't do this, or if I do this, regardless, I can guarantee all of you, I'm gonna have one incredibly large food baby after this. So be sure to stick around for that. And also, be sure to stick around to see what my post-challenge weight is gonna be. Might actually hit 30 pounds gained. Definitely not something to be bragging about, but welcome to my channel. Just pretend like it's a vegetable. Or just a piece of salmon. Just pretend here. Oh. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. I really don't know if I can be able to do this. I can say this right now. I'm definitely full. Your boy is full. I feel like I have chocolate coming out of my eyeballs. Oh, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Oh. All I can say is that if you made it up into this point in the video, just go ahead and comment down below. Crazy. Because this entire challenge was just all sorts of crazy. And just like that, everyone, with 41 seconds left, the challenge has been completed. I'm gonna go ahead and put the total calories officially consumed right up there. The total macros will be right up there as well, along with the food list for everything. Ooh. Oh man. Wow. Well, everyone, it's time for me to show you all my post-challenge weight. If you enjoyed this insane calorie challenge, I'm gonna go ahead and put another one similar to this one right up there for you all to enjoy as well, along with the food challenge playlist that I have on my channel. It would mean the world to me if you gave the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next food challenge.
I'm attempting to eat the world's biggest Ben & Jerry's food challenge in under 60 minutes. Over 17,000 calories of Ben & Jerry's deliciousness. If I failed to eat everything within the time limit, I had to do the unthinkable, a 1-mile run immediately following the challenge. The first order of business was choosing my flavors.
Everybody, I have a lot of Ben & Jerry's on my table and also one pint on my floor. Oh my goodness. I gotta get myself presentable, right? 1 second. You all know I had to do it, all right? Eric the Electric merch, link in bio. Everyone, it's been quite some time since I've done an ice cream challenge and I'm very much looking forward to this one. But before I get into this week's food challenge, I've got something very special to tell you all.
This video is being brought to you by Bespoke Post. Bespoke is a monthly membership club that delivers awesome boxes with tons of top shelf goods from under the radar brands that's completely free to join. Every month, Bespoke's members are introduced to cool new products including outdoor gear, home and kitchen goods, barware, and more based on an individual preference quiz that's filled out when you sign up. Every month, each member gets sent a personalized box that's worth around $70 in retail value, but only costs $49. You can preview your box before it's shipped and decide if you want to keep it. You can swap it for a different box, or you can skip the month entirely for no charge so you only pay for what you want. My last few Bespoke boxes have been awesome and super useful for my lifestyle. The Weekender bag has been super handy for short day trips around town. I've been using the 2 knives that came with the chop box like crazy for my nightly kitchen needs. Oh, and I can't forget the feast box. It came with an absolutely beautiful carving knife and fork that are perfect for slicing up big pieces of chicken and turkey. Here's the deal, everyone. Bespoke Post is going to give you 20% off your first box today. All you got to do is visit the link down below in the description and enter code ELECTRIC20 at checkout. Or just go to bespokepost.com/electric20.
Now that that's out of the way, everyone, I'm going to be giving myself a 60-minute time limit. If I can't take all this Ben & Jerry's down in under 60 minutes, I'm going to have to run a mile after this food challenge. I rode my bike 65 miles today, but I didn't have time for a run. So I figured, you know what? Why not just spice this challenge up, and if I can't take all this down, I'll just get my run workout in after the food challenge. Probably gonna be a terrible decision, but hopefully I won't have to. Without further ado, everyone, let's do this. So I got 5 pints on the table right now, and then I have 5 pints in the freezer for obvious reasons. First pint, milk and cookies. All right, everybody, it's time to get this challenge started in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so first pint is down. You can't go wrong with milk and cookies, all right? We're about 2.5 minutes into the challenge. Now it's time for the half-baked pint. All right, half-baked is down. Next, we're gonna do strawberry cheesecake. I'm gonna do chocolate chip cookie dough. Chocolate chip cookie dough time. I learned this cool trick where you can touch the tongue to your top of your mouth and it takes the brain freeze away. All right, third pint is down. We are about 8 minutes into the challenge. They're making really good time so far, everybody. I think I'm gonna get into my actual favorite pint of Ben & Jerry's. This is the cannoli flavor. Oh, it is absolutely legendary. All right, fourth pint is down. We are about 11 minutes in. All right, next is the Ben & Jerry's flavor. Next is the strawberry cheesecake flavor. Oh, this flavor's good too. All right, well, the fifth pint is down. So we're currently just crossed the 15-minute mark. So before I get the next 5 pints, I'm gonna head on over to our cookie dough chunks right here. If you've never seen these before, well, it's because they're relatively new. Some of these flavors I've had before, some of them I have not had before, so I'm very much looking forward to trying these out. These right here are the sugar cookie chunks. And that's what we got right there. I'll pick that up later. Those are tasty. Right, now it's time for the chocolate chip cookie dough. Should I say it? I feel like I should say what it looks like, but I won't. It certainly tastes way better than it looks. Right. Well, it looks like we are about 22 minutes into the challenge. So far, it's going as good as it can go. I'm actually going to get to the last flavor that I have had before, which is the Tonight Dough chunks. Oh, excuse me. It's all. Right, third bag of cookie dough chunks down. Now I think it's time to get the rest of the ice cream. All right, everybody. So I have the next round of ice cream, and I just gotta say right now, I had to swap out 2 pints because 2 pints were still melted from me taking the thumbnail for this video. I don't know what it is, but it's like every time I consume ice cream that is melted in any food challenge, I'm met with a plethora of comments from people telling me that I'm a crazy person for eating melted ice cream. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do. This next pint right here is iconic. This is the chocolate fudge brownie. Ooh, it looks fudging delicious. Fudge brownies now. Next, I gotta try something that I saw on social media, and I've been wondering about it ever since I saw it. Step 1 is to take 2 cookies just like so. I chose M&M cookies because, you know what? We all know M&M cookies are absolutely sensational. Step 2 is to cut a pint of ice cream like this. So that's just not what I want. Step 3 is to place that just like that. Step 4, you do that. Actually, step 5 is figuring out how I'm gonna get this off. And there you have it, friends and family. You have yourselves an M&M cookie sandwich. Ben & Jerry's cookie sandwich. Let's try it out. That is gonna get a W. Oh. Man, that was amazing. Where are my Cherry Garcia people at? Comment below. And if Cherry Garcia isn't your favorite pint of Ben & Jerry's, why don't you comment down below with what your favorite pint of Ben & Jerry's actually is? Let me know down below in the comments. Right, well, the 7th pint of Ben & Jerry's is down. Looks like we have 22 minutes left. Next pint I'm gonna get into over here is the Ben & Jerry's fish food. That's what we got right there. I'm gonna eat this with my big spoon. Alright, pretty well. The 8th pint of Ben & Jerry's is down. 18 minutes remaining. I feel like a sugar bomb has just gone off in my mouth right now. For that, always come prepared to the party whenever this happens. Pick that up later. Flavor fatigue is just a real thing, everybody. For those of you who haven't had this flavor, or any of the core flavors, they call these flavors core flavors because they stuff little surprises in the middle of the pint. And in this pint, giant chocolate chip cookie. Nice pint being completed. Oh my goodness. Maybe I overdid it a little bit on the ice cream sandwich. Now we've reached the 10th pint. It's my second favorite pint. This is the peanut butter cup. I love peanut butter cups so much. I mean, just check it out, everybody. Peanut butter cups, deliciousness. Pretty well, we've reached the 10-minute mark. I'm telling you all right now, this is going to be an absolute battle because those 3 bags of cookie dough are going to be really hard to get down. I'm going to go for it. Now it's time for the peanut butter cookie dough. Oh, excuse me. All right, well, we have 5 minutes remaining. Oh my goodness. 2 bags of cookie dough. Oh, I think I forgot to show you all the inside of this pint, but yes, it is been completed. It's out of running right now, just... Ugh. Alright, so I don't know what's very special about this cookie dough, but...
All right, everybody, well, we have 2 minutes left. Oh, man. Get out of my sight. I don't know, there's a lot of taste of sugar. Oh, 40 seconds left. All right, everybody, well, unfortunately, time has run out. Oh, goodness, everybody, I'm literally this close to completing the challenge successfully. Unfortunately, I am past the 60-minute time limit, which means I've failed the challenge, which also means that I have to run 1 full mile after I get up from this table. You all know me. Sometimes you just gotta go out with a bang. Let's finish this challenge. And then it's time for the sweetest smile of my life. Everybody, the challenge has been completed. Just not in under 60 minutes. Now everyone, it's time to go for a little jog. Time to go for a jog.
All right, let's get this over with. Oh, I really hope I don't. Oh, this sucks. Oh, well, I made it past a quarter mile. Never doing this again. Halfway there. Oh, I'm trying so hard not to fall right now.
That sucks so much, but I made it. 1 mile. If you enjoy this insane ice cream challenge, I'm gonna go and put my last ice cream challenge right up there if you all too enjoy as well, along with another food challenge playlist that I have on my channel. Subscribe to the channel for more insane food challenges, give the video a like, and I'll see you all in the next food challenge.